It's connecting. Happy Thursday. All right, it's connected. Go live. Guys, I am doing the thing. Like I'm literally doing the thing across all the things. And I thought I'll come on here and talk with you about the things. Does that sound good? I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me, but yeah, you should because you're following this video, but hang on. I'm going to make sure that all of my assets are streaming in the right spots because one thing I'm going to see, I'm checking my YouTube. I'm live. Okay, cool. One thing I'm like super excited about is helping other people do what I'm doing. I don't know, like I've had this calling on my heart to like, how can I 10x my impact by helping more people? How can I 10x my influence so that more people can see that I want to help others do the thing? And how can I 10x my income? Because yeah, baby, let's go. And so when you're starting at zero, what a better place to start than here, right? So hi, my name is Kristen Gutierrez. You're here. I'm here. If you're here live, let me know in the comments and hopefully I will see them, but I'm trying all this out. And so often we feel that we need to have all of the answers solved before we can start acting. And I'm here to show and hopefully inspire you and give you some actionable strategies. Like you can borrow my confidence in you, that you don't have to have all of the answers in order to go. Cool? So we're going to spend some time talking about all the things. Now, I would love to know if my audio and video are choppy because yesterday I went live with my good friend and this mega badass Jackie Lacroix. And she was telling me pre-live, like, hey, your video is choppy. And I was seeing that I was tethering or toggling between yellow and green in terms of connectivity. But I was like, you know what? It's working on my end. You're sitting in a hotel. Like, I'm sure let's just go. And sure enough, I watched the replay of that live and I'm like frozen. So let me know or I'll see it after, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see. What's up, everybody? All right, so I'm Kristen Gutierrez, and I help other coaches, consultants, course creators, experts, ninjas, business owners, entrepreneurs. I also help you 10x your impact, your influence, and your income using a simple 3-pillar approach to just doing the thing, right? So I'm on a mission right now to help all these people look at what they're currently doing for their business and how to add more value, rethink something, reverse engineer something, redesign something, repackage something, make their offers sexier and more playful. Pillar 1. Pillar 2 is how to take what they have one to many. So we were just in my weekly community group Q&A, and I was talking about this as it relates to language service companies. Okay. So like if you're watching this and you know me as being a 20-year language services veteran, here's the thing. This approach works for you too. It works for every single industry out there. Real estate. Obviously, I said like coaches, course creators, and all the things, but like tell me an industry in the chat and I'm going to tell you it works, because it's all about creating better offers. And for language services, we were talking about what that looked like for their business, for their business, for their business. And it talks about selling one to many, because as salespeople, we're often selling one to one. I've got ninja strategies for days. Ask me a question, I'll answer it, on how to cold sell in the DMs. And that works across all industries. And that is a one-to-one approach. And it's going to work. And it just takes time to get through all the things. But couldn't you see, give me a yes in the chat, nod your head, that if you could take an approach and sell one to many, that you would have a bigger impact that much faster, right? So like one to many, I told them in my call with language service companies, this might be a webinar. It's like in corporate, we think of webinars. In coaching consultants, a webinar is typically known as a VSL, a video sales letter. Several years ago, these webinars stopped being live and now they're like pre-recorded. Although from the user experience, it's like you're signing up and it looks like it's going to be live, and you spend half the time in the webinar wondering, is this thing actually live or not? But in corporate, these are often live webinars. I challenge you in corporate to take these strategies and make them work for you. Do a webinar. When is the last time you did a webinar? Because I know webinars look more like live events now, right? Let's create a forum. Let's create a show. Let's invite a guest. Let's invite other people and show up live. We got to reverse engineer if we want to differentiate from our competitors in our industry. So if you're in corporate, I'm starting here because I want you to know, while you see me and my brand evolving, I know that this works for corporate too. There was somebody in my community call and she's like, I can see it. And I am like, yes, you can. I was coaching them today on the innovation framework and how to take this concept of more offers, different offers, sexier offers, i.e. an innovation framework, and using it to add value. So this pillar, this helping others 10x their impact, their influence, and their income. Like I said, it's 3 pillars. It's offers, it's one to many, selling one to many. This is where I just went off on a deep end. And then it's the audience. And so you can borrow somebody else's audience. This is the strategy that I use when I'm trying to speak on stage at a mega industry conference. When I don't know anybody, I borrow the credibility of a speaker I try to partner with. So I could teach you guys the tactics all day, but I want to really like say that for the next hour and for the days to come, like, you know, you can tune me out. You don't have to watch. You don't have to catch it live. You don't have to watch the replay. Like, I know this isn't for everybody, but I do know that it's perfect for some. And no matter what industry you're in, if you're in corporate or if you're in the more like coaching consulting space, like this methodology, this system kills. This system kills. Okay, so let's just talk, right? Because, whoa, one thing I should start doing when I'm coming live by myself is like having a list of like things I want to go over. I do know I'm trying to share my vulnerable, if I can be like, is it okay with you if I'm vulnerable? And like just share the transparent aspect of like being calm above water, but like swimming like heck underwater, like a duck, right? First of all, I don't actually know where to start. I mean, the fact that I'm saying from 0 to 10 million, like this is true. Like, how much more impactful is it if I show up today at 0? Like, literally 0, like having to sell an asset, i.e., my grandparents' home, in order to like not go underwater, right? Not like flip upside down and go underwater, right? So this is like the state of 0 I'm in. But how much more impactful will this journey be if I start here versus starting when I'm at 1 million or 3 million? You're like, oh yeah, cool. Like she had a leg up. It's so hard for us to compare ourselves to others because we think, well, we see somebody in the middle of their journey and we compare our beginning to someone else's middle. So I'm going to actually tell you this thing right now. So you might know, and you should check it out, milliondollarofferchallenge.com. These 3 pillars, we're giving it all away next week. I'm telling you the strategy and all the things in a free challenge. Okay. So I'm new to using ClickFunnels. Anybody use a funnel building platform? Side note, corporate doesn't use funnels, but I have always wondered what would happen if a corporation like a language services company threw out what they believed to be true for websites and stopped comparing themselves to all of their competition and started using a funnel building software to generate leads and talk about their business. Like I'm truly convinced it would change the game. One of my former CEOs, somebody I very much respect, would always talk about the 1%. So you don't have to come into anything in life and change a bunch of things all at once, right? You can come into a new workout routine. And if you put the pressure on yourself that you had to look good to show up at the gym, you wouldn't show up at the gym. Or if you had to do a HIIT class, or you had to have a new workout outfit, or all of those things would start to add up as excuses as to why you're not going to show up. Instead, if you're like couch to 5K plan, couch to walking in my neighborhood for 20 minutes plan, if I said, I'm just going to get up from my desk and walk to the end of the street and back. Like I give this example a lot because some of you know, like having my 2 kids really late in life, like I'm coming out of it now, but like it did a number on me mentally, physically, and all the things, right? And like everything we all have going on in any given season in our life. I'm like, I need to start going to yoga. But what I have done is I've continued to walk. And this is like a game changer. Now I enjoy, whether it's my week with my kids or not, whether I have to help out like this morning with my kids, happily to get them off to school so that G could go be somewhere else for his job super early in the morning. I still did it. And then I went on a walk. And that walk sets me up for success for my day because our brains are filled with all this blood and we got to get the blood moving in our brains and in our bodies so that we can start off and having a good day. But to think that I was going to do all of that when it wasn't my day to do it, and then also I had to go walk, that would be very intimidating for Kristen 6, 8, 12, 18 months ago. Instead, it would be much more easy to convince myself, as I did, to get to that point, to just walk down the street. Sometimes I would walk down the street barefoot because like barefoot walking is all the rage, right? Barefoot running. So I would just like, because I'm so barefoot all the time living in Southern California, I would just walk to the end of the street and back. Okay, Good, Kristen, you did that. Just do it again tomorrow. Do it again tomorrow. And only when you feel like it, put on shoes. And only when you feel like it, walk one more block. We like overcomplicate everything. If you're watching this, say like simplify. So here's what I'm going to read to you. So I'm using ClickFunnels. Yay. And KristenGutierrez.co is built on ClickFunnels. I should have started this like 3 months ago because I had this super janky website forever. And now it's still very, very janky. I built it out a little, and I finally just literally like 2-3 months ago said, okay, I'm going to take what I was using for my website and I'm just going to dig deep. And it took me about a week and a half, but like full on, like the nights I wasn't with my kids, like working until 11 p.m. at night, like I had to really figure it out. The only other way to figure it out is to throw money at it. We just aren't in a place right now to throw money at things like that. I'll talk about that if you want in today's episode, in future episodes, but like the shiny object syndrome, when it's actually a really good skill set as an entrepreneur to learn the basics so that then you can hire things out. So I learned how to finally use ClickFunnels, and I tethered it to ActiveCampaign. So let me know in the chat if you're an entrepreneur or a business and what like email automation system you're using, what CRM you're using. People in my community know that I love HubSpot. I love free HubSpot. And in corporate sales, the last several companies I was consulting or working with were using HubSpot versus Salesforce. But there are so many CRMs out there. And I love going to like a mastermind like this last week and hearing about so many others, because depending if you're a corporation or a coach or business owner, or, you know, you're $2 million or $20 million or $20,000 will depend on whether you have one thing or several different things and what works for you. But anybody knows using a CRM is imperative. Having an email system is imperative, but it's not without struggle and frustration. I love that HubSpot, you can actually manage your website in it. So I do know a lot of companies that do that. But again, there's this whole beauty and magic with this ClickFunnels world. You should check it out. I could like give you a link to check it out, but just go check it out, ClickFunnels, and go to ClickFunnels Classic. Someone say ClickFunnels Classic. Now, they rolled out this 2.0 version. People who are on it love it. It just depends on, all the things. When I first started using ClickFunnels a year ago, basically a year ago today, last April 2023, I signed up for 2.0 because I thought, oh, okay, like new platform, I'll just sign up for this. And then my mentors were giving me, they're called funnels. They cloned some funnels and they gave them to us, which is amazing. And those cloned funnels didn't import into ClickFunnels 2.0. It only works with ClickFunnels Classic. So I had to like untether everything and like not downgrade, but like shift over to the classic version. It was like this big to do, but that's the point. As an entrepreneur, we're always going to be changing and like having to optimize. So today I'm in between. I upgraded my free version of free version of HubSpot. Everybody who's in my community knows if you are using nothing else, use the free version of HubSpot. Free version of HubSpot, if nothing else. First of all, it's free. Second of all, you can send 2,000 emails a month through it. It'll give you one meeting link. So like use this meeting link to book time with me. I mean, one Calendly link is also free. So then you'll have 2 free links, one with Calendly and one with HubSpot to use for different reasons. So you don't have to keep changing. You know, there's a ton of benefits of free HubSpot. And I kick myself because about a week ago when I was in Chicago 2 weeks ago for a conference, shout out to my friend Natalia for getting me there and introducing me to the association. I was working in my hotel room and I was at the limit of 2,000 and I'm launching this masterclass and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Like I'll upgrade. And it wasn't that much money. And this is one of my posts today, May 9th. This is my post today. I was like, we are constantly bombarded by shiny objects outside of work, but even within work. And this was a shiny object for me, upgrading to HubSpot, because what I had associated in my brain is like a couple $1,000s a month. It was $180 for the year. I'm like, okay, I'll just upgrade to instead of getting 2,000 emails a month, I would get 5,000 emails a month and I'm at my email limit. And instead of waiting 3 days for the month to start over, I will upgrade, spend $180 and send out this email. I have like 700 people in my list, right? Jenna Kutcher, if you know who that is, she is a fancy pants entrepreneur, and an ad or a story of hers, literally yesterday, she was like, I'm at 180,000 on my email list. I have like 600 to 700. And some of those are like AP addresses. Like I'm trying to actually go through and figure out how, as an entrepreneur, when you're emailing, I worked with a zoo, I worked with a cannabis company, I've worked with a lot of entities, and they give me their AP emails to like pay invoices, like how to automatically, if there's a way to like automatically get those out of my emails, because those people don't want to be bombarded by my list, my content. And while I make lists, you can do that in the free version of HubSpot. You know, it's hard to maintain. So like done is better than perfect. Let me just send this email. Anyway, so like those emails, that doesn't count, but all in, I have about 700, right? So as an entrepreneur just getting started, I need to like continuously go in and figure out how to, I just want to see if this is, like how to clean up my emails. I want to pay attention to Jenny and Debbie, because I thought maybe there was some comments in the Facebook group, and there are. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that this is helpful. She says, hi, yes, here live. And Debbie says, it's good. Okay, they might not still be here, but I'm going to keep going. So I upgraded to this paid version of HubSpot, and you'll never guess what happened. I go to send the email, and all of a sudden I got a notification that said 0 of the 600-700 emails are going to send because none of your contacts are marked as marketing contacts. I was like, what? First of all, 90% of those people did sign up because of my book launch, because of a masterclass, because of a giveaway. Okay. Like, because I started my email list at 0 a year ago, and I launched my book, and I got like 150 emails from this, and everyone said, I want to sign up. But somehow when they made their way into HubSpot, they weren't marked as marketing contacts. And that didn't matter on the free version. And all of a sudden I upgraded. And now to send 5,000 emails instead of 2,000 emails, those 5,000 contacts or email, the contacts in my database have to be marked as marketing contacts. I was like, I love this for me. So I quickly Google like how the heck to do this. And it's not easy. I mean, it wasn't simple. It wasn't like obvious. Have you ever done that where it's like, okay, I'll just obviously take care of it myself real quick? Because the whole point of spending the $180, while it was nominal, it was to send the emails. I was like beyond frustrated. And so I let it sit there for like 3 days. I didn't send the emails. I couldn't figure out. Now I'm in a rabbit hole trying to figure something out when that wasn't the point. Like I was already taking time to upgrade. Like it took like a 10-minute process. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. Like, so I went over to ActiveCampaign. So like, don't listen to my advice, but do. Like I had 2 email platforms. I have ActiveCampaign because the same mentors who gave me some cloned funnels when I got set up with them a year ago, they're like, this is a good system. Like ActiveCampaign and ClickFunnels, they talk to each other because not all technology talks to each other. In fact, ClickFunnels doesn't talk to HubSpot. You have to use something called Zapier in between, and they're called Zaps, and you get a bunch of free Zaps, and then it starts costing money, and it's also nominal. It's like $15 a month or something, but everything adds up. For a minute in 2023, I had made a list of like the bare minimum I was spending per month to run my business. And I was super proud of myself because I was on free HubSpot. I was on free Zoom. I was, I was in ActiveCampaign. I was in ClickFunnels, but the monthlies were pretty low. I had LinkedIn Premium, but that monthly, it's not that much money. And so I was creating this 6-figure business off of very low tech. As things go, other shiny objects start dangling, right? And you can imagine that you are going to evolve. And some of the technology that has been shown to me, like Talkadot, I'm talking to my friend tomorrow about Talkadot. She's speaking at a conference and she was like, hey, how do I use this platform? I refer people to Talkadot all the time. And the system I had been taught was Textaful. And Textaful is great. And it's basically the same price as Talkadot. Talkadot's a little bit more per month. Textaful is $15 a month. And this is how you can say on a podcast, text, my word was strategy to 33777. You can try that. I have no idea. I don't own that anymore. But it was a really ninja, a word that everyone knows how to spell to 33777. The hang up for me became I was going to Lima, Peru to do a keynote. And if you know, nobody in Latin America uses text. Everyone uses WhatsApp. And it became very complicated. I'm happy to talk about that. I basically coached somebody else through this as who they were going to an international country to give a keynote. And we were talking, and it just becomes very complicated to use the longer number you have to tell somebody to input into their device, especially if you don't know that their device is WhatsApp, not text, just introduces error for manual intervention, right? So you want to eliminate manual intervention. Now, at the conference I was at in Chicago, when it's the 6th time I've used this Talkadot platform, it's basically a QR code that you scan. The keynote speaker had a QR code. Almost all speakers I saw had a QR code, but the association didn't make an announcement, like most of them don't, about what the Wi-Fi username and password was. And I don't know about everybody else. I know about some of us. We went to scan his QR code at the end of the presentation, and my internet, it wasn't working. And you take your phone off Wi-Fi to trick your phone, but it wasn't working. And so I went next and I added a slide. I rushed to the back of the room to the tech guys. I'm let me add a slide real quick. And it was first things first, here's the Wi-Fi. I'm going to ask you to pull out your phone at the end to grab this super awesome giveaway. So just make sure you're on the Wi-Fi, and here's the password. I was add it now and then put your phones down when I know you're done, and then we can get started. So that's a really great strategy, even if you don't go first, to kind of always bake into your presentations, because it just takes 2 minutes. And then no one is going to have an issue of getting your giveaway. Okay, so there's all types of technology. And if you ask any questions, I can share with you what I was using, what I'm currently using, some of the challenges I've had. But the whole thing got hung up a week and a half ago on HubSpot. And now, as things go, my ActiveCampaign renewal is upon us. And I know from more than one person that it operates just fine as a CRM. Not all email marketing platforms have CRM capability in them. ClickFunnels 2.0 now has a CRM capability built into it. But I'm on Classic. And you just have to learn as a new entrepreneur how things connect, what is somebody else already doing and how much time and money have they saved to figure that solution out? Trust me, sometimes it's better to just follow their lead because they've already spent a lot of money and they've spent a lot of time to get to the end result. And so I'm just at a point where I have two different mentors and they're all using ClickFunnels and they're using ActiveCampaign either entirely or in part. And so I think with my HubSpot snafu, I'm migrating entirely over to ActiveCampaign to manage my CRM and my emails because it seamlessly integrates into ClickFunnels. But I'm getting to like a whole point here, which is interesting if you're still following. It's like, what is like tech 101 is like, very easily. There's somebody in one of my mastermind like groups. This is what I'm going to tell you here in a sec. And I was like, well, if you have the means, one way around this is to hire a VA. Okay. Like not necessarily a person, unless your business is producing income or you have income from another place where you can sustain a full-time employee or an onshore contractor to work with you, or like somebody down the street, then, and if you don't have any kids yet that are old enough, then a VA, the right VA could potentially solve this for you. There's pros and cons of both. I mean, I'll never regret having learned it. And like, I'm patient enough to try to figure it out. I think there's a lot of value in figuring it out. I think as a career salesperson, having joined multiple different companies and then consulted, you don't get to choose the tech. They're like, hey, we use Salesforce, or hey, we use HubSpot. And even when like 5 companies use HubSpot, they're all using it completely different. This is just the nature of everything. So as a salesperson, you've had to like adapt over the years. Like, no, I'm not managing the admin side of things, but I'm having to use the technology the way my boss or my leader or the CEO needs us to. So depending on the time you have, the money you have, and where you are in your journey, like there is a benefit to learning everything. Okay, so because I'm still learning, I'm going to share this very humbly. The other day, so I'm doing million-dollar-offer-challenge.com, right? And the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, I have like 12 people signed up for my VIP. I'm so excited. It didn't dawn on me that I wasn't receiving the emails from Stripe saying that the money wasn't coming in. In fact, I was in my mastermind and I was working on my funnel. And again, this is also something I've figured out. I already have Stripe, how to connect Stripe to ClickFunnels as a product. I wanted to do it that way for mainly for the reason ClickFunnels, they have like a whole tribe. I'm like dying to go to a ClickFunnels conference. If you're watching and you've been to a ClickFunnels conference, let me know how it goes. Somebody was telling me this week her experience, and it sounds so amazing. So I can't wait to go. Maybe this year, maybe next. They have a 2 Comma Club award, and they have like bigger awards. And it's all these people who have created the 2 Comma Club award is somebody who has created $1 million or more from a funnel from one of their websites. And the bigger the money, the multiple millions of dollars they make, they have all these huge awards, right? And I was like, wow. In 2023, as a consultant, no, I didn't collect $1 million, but I cash collected 6 figures. I never ran them through a funnel. I literally just gave them a Stripe invoice. So I thought, well, maybe I should start running everything through a funnel. So that, coupled with these masterclass challenges I do where I have a VIP upgrade, sometimes 47, sometimes 97, depending on all the things. It's automated to be able to send them through the funnel because the landing page says, here's a VIP. If you want to upgrade, these are all the bonuses you'll get. And oh, by the way, like here's how you enter your credit card. So I was like, wow, I have 12 people signed up. But I was so busy at this conference, I didn't realize that like I wasn't receiving emails from Stripe. So I was analyzing my funnel with some tech help at the mastermind. And I was like, this is so funny because my funnel says I have 1 person signed up. But look over here, in Active Campaign, I have 12. And we were in a group setting and somebody else had some legitimate, more important questions. And I had like several questions and I already had my biggest question answered. So we moved on from that because it was like, that's weird. And then yesterday, I literally thought, wait a second. I went in my Stripe, like on the airplane, I'm thinking about this. So I looked at my Stripe and I'm like, no, I have one person in VIP signed up. But I go to Active Campaign and I have 12. Now I have 9. Let me see. I'm going to tell you. This is like coming to like a very embarrassing point here. But I want to like share this so it's humble, right? Is that okay if I humble myself in front of you? Okay. 22. And I wish 22 people signed up for VIP. 30 people signed up for the regular. That's where the difference was. I was like, right, I've got regular people and I've got VIP people. But I have one person who paid. So my point is, I recognized yesterday, 24 hours ago, I was like, oh my gosh, something's wrong on the back end where people who are signing up for general, they're not paying. But I'm thinking of it right now. But they're some of them, not all of them. It would be so much easier and more obvious to try to figure out if all of them, if I had 30 in general and 30 in VIP. And yesterday I signed up and sure enough, I didn't go into VIP. I just stayed in general. But somehow there's 22 people in VIP and 2 people now signed up. Oh, okay. 2 people now signed up for, do you see all those balloons? VIP. So why are there 20 more people in VIP? That is rhetorical. I don't have the answer right now. But somebody in my mastermind group was like,
hi.
Oops.
Man, I love you guys so much. I love that we're talking.
Wait, hold on. My phone is like frozen.
I'm so glad you said that, Kristen. And like,
okay, wait. Hold on. Why is my phone frozen? Okay. What did she say? Oh yeah. Here, hold on. I signed up for your challenge. Either I'm jet lagged, but oh yeah, I didn't see the date and times on the landing page. I also realized that a few days ago and I still haven't fixed it. Okay. And also I got the VIP notification and I didn't complete your VIP. So my point is like, we can be novice. We can be learning how to use tech, how to integrate backends, even without third-party integration. Like this is a direct integration, thank goodness, not with a Zapier in between. And we can still get it wrong, but we can have grace. We can have friends who tell us. This other person, she just forwarded me something, and I think it's because there is an extra J in her name on her contact record. So I'm assuming when, oh yeah, hold on, I spelled her name wrong. When she signed up, maybe there was a typo, or in the process, I have introduced a typo. No typo in her name. I don't know why. See, this is my point, right? Like she forwarded an email with no context, but it says, hey, and then there's like a bracket. So maybe I did that. Maybe in the email itself, I entered a bracket. Okay. I learned from my kid's dad, like done is better than perfect. And that's such a good ninja thing to learn. Now, sometimes me and my best friend, we run too fast and we make some mistakes. If every single email went out on this campaign with a bracket right before their first name, is that the end of the world? You have to decide that for yourself. It's kind of unfortunate because I didn't have to insert the personalization token. I could have just said, hey, hi. I could have said nothing. So trying to make it a little more personal. If that in fact is what whether she was calling that out or not to me, I noticed it, right? So let's see if I can go and look in the campaign real quick to see if that's an everybody thing or somehow just a her thing. I'm going to check. No, it's not. How to fill your next masterclass. Filling your next masterclass. I don't know why. I don't know why it would say that for hers. And that's the thing, like, I don't have all the answers. But if not having the answers stopped me from trying to move forward, you have to make that decision for yourself. I argue that a typo here or an automation mistake there. So a bunch of people, 20 people, have received a notification about a book giveaway and their VIP access, basically, that they didn't pay for. That's okay. That's okay. Like, can we just like humble ourselves and get it better next time? Like, I will respond to this message when I'm done here. It came in while we were talking. I will respond to her message and be like, yeah, totally just went live about this. Like, I know it's an issue. I got to somehow try to fix it. I obviously do not owe those people books, as that was a promise. I could give them books. They also have my VIP giveaway, which they didn't pay for, but that's okay. They can also show up. My masterclass next week is 4 days. The general admission is 1 hour each day, and the VIP is 1 hour before general. I'm all good with that if like extra people want to show up, right? And in this case, they didn't pay to be in the room, but they're there because I messed up. I will course correct it. I also know that we get stuck a lot trying to, let me just say something about the VIP. Like the people who did pay, I can also figure that out, right? Like you can pay them back. You can give them something else. This is what you should always do, is like try to give them something else. Don't pay them back, because I will continue to drive more people to VIP. And so it's just a matter of like, hey, you got this email. Sorry about that. Something's wrong with my automation. Thanks for understanding. You're welcome to you're welcome to keep the giveaways, pay the $97 and you can show up early or whatever. Like you can make it right. You can go to the people who did sign up, like, hey, like, sorry about this, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, they don't know the difference, but like, hey, like, let me give you something else anyway. Just like give them something on top. The other thing I was going to say is because so many people would get stuck, there is a lot of coordination that has to happen. If you're a one-person team, if you're two people, if you're just starting out, if you've not really done something before, we like, I keep doing this, but like we just get stuck. Say stuck in the chat if like you're hearing me. And like that creates imposter syndrome, and inaction creates just like doubt and fear in all of us. And that is why this done is better than perfect approach, and truly just like knowing that you're going to make mistakes. And like Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable, and like how to use the act of action to snowball momentum, and like know that you don't have to have all the answers or all of your I's dotted or all of your T's crossed in order to make good decisions and like the right decisions to move your business. Because if I thought, well, I can't set up this website until all my emails are automated, I still don't have, I've got people in a funnel, my active campaign funnel, the automation, that they received 2 emails and some of them more, but like 2 emails, and then the automation stopped. And every day I'm like, ooh, I'm creating a workaround. I had to like Google YouTube a workaround for people who have completed an automation, how to build another step of the automation, and then put a tag on the people who missed it, and then put the tag in the automation. And then everybody with that tag over here, if that tag is now part of the automation, so you have to tag the people first and then add the tag to the right spot of the automation. I've made that mistake. I put the tag at the top, which meant my people got all of the emails again. Nope. They just need to get the tag at the spot in the automation where I had originally stopped. And then they'll get all the things, and then you can remove the tag if you want. It's just like all types of manual efforts. And so, yes, it would be so much easier to have somebody in my back pocket who knew this platform, and I could just like tell them the things, but it also takes money. And great, I hope you're in a position, unlike me, who has the money to throw at a problem like this. Super easy. Don't go through all of this. But I'll never regret learning it, right? Like I'll never regret having to roll up my sleeves and be in the trenches, so that when I'm able to afford a VA to do it, or somebody internally, like my first hire, an admin or something, who is a ninja in ActiveCampaign and a ninja in ClickFunnels and does that person even exist? Are unicorns real? Then at least I'll have some appreciation. But like, they're going to be sick. They're going to need days off. Like, what's going to happen? Like, now all of a sudden I want to, oh my gosh, I just had this brilliant, genius idea, and I need to send a campaign right now. Like, tell me you're an entrepreneur without telling me an entrepreneur that like you've had an idea that needed to be executed right now. I'll wait. So if I know how to use the tools, then what am I going to do? Bombard them on their honeymoon? Ask them to help me when they're sick? They've got a sick kid at home. Like, hello, Grace. I have like 2 very small children still, and therefore I will always give grace now with moms and parents who work and have small kids. So it's way better, I feel, to, at the beginning, infancy stages of your journey, when you're just getting started, to learn the ropes yourself. Because you can always save yourself then. You can always throw yourself a life raft. You can always help somebody else who needs a life raft. You can help a colleague, a peer. And more importantly, yeah, you can help yourself. Put your oxygen mask on first before helping others. And like, so I have a few things I have to fix, clearly. I have to decide if I'm canceled. Well, I've already downgraded from HubSpot. Thank you. They gave me a full refund. Thank you. Because like I ultimately did it 2 days later. They're like, cool, yeah, we'll turn off your subscription for end of next year. I'm like, no. They were super responsive, and they just downgraded me right away. And so now, like, am I going to keep HubSpot, or am I going to go all into ActiveCampaign? And then in ActiveCampaign, how am I going to fix the VIP snafu that I'm currently sitting on? And yeah, there's so many things about ActiveCampaign. Like, I just don't know. And I know, like, when I signed up a year ago, they're like, oh, have a success starter call. And so now I'm probably at a point where I should take a call with them, or watch some more YouTube videos. And especially if I'm going to be using this as my CRM to track deals, then I should get to know it a little bit better. But I hope this is helpful, motivational, like encouraging, that you don't have to have all the answers in order to do the thing. And right now, most importantly for me is to truly, it's like 10x my impact, my influence, and my income by teaching others the system. Any system, framework, methodology. This is what we were talking about in my community call, as I mentioned earlier, is like, I have a framework. It's all the same, but like what you call it has a little bit of a kind of different connotation. But I have the innovation framework that has won me an award, that has worked hook, line, and sinkum in the language services space, that can work in a multitude of industries or examples for, and they asked me to teach it to them today. So we taught them this framework, and I just love, there was like 4 different companies there, like 8 different people. And I just love that like 2 of the people were like, yes. Everybody was like, yes. But like 2 of the people were like, yes, I can see how I can apply this right away on a call I have tomorrow, right away in clients where I've messed up or in new opportunities, and use the framework as a way to guide the client down a path. And so I'm sitting on a system to help business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, course creators, experts rethink what they're currently offering to the world, making it sexier, selling it in a one-to-many format, and borrowing other people's audiences to get the message out. This system, like, I paid a lot of money to learn it from somebody who paid a lot of money and a lot of time to figure it out in their own business. And now that she's taught it to us and given us all of the system, the whole shebang, in order to be able to use it for our own businesses and to teach others. And I just am so excited to have this masterclass next week, this 4-day challenge next week, where we're laying out the pillars, we're talking about the strategy, we're giving some of the how-tos so that other people can see how this could work for them. Because whether it's this $1 million offer system, or it's the innovation framework, or it's my bold move system, having a system to get things done, get out of your own way, 10x your impact, your influence, and your income. Having a system means that when we get stuck, as we will, we can lean back on the system. We're like, okay, where did I lose track? So systems often include checklists. So within the $1 million offer system, there is a checklist. I mean, there's plenty of checklists, but it's like, do this, then do this. And I remember working through it. I was like, okay, I have to go eat. I have to go pick up my kids. I have to go to sleep. And so wherever I left off in the checklist is where I knew to pick up the next day. So it's just it's not like in my brain. It's not like trying to, just watch somebody else do it and then try to make it work for myself. No, it's like, follow these steps in this order, or this is how it was described to me 2 years ago. A system is like sequential steps, and pillars are like core things that technically could happen in any specific order. So I decide, okay, I want to run a challenge to teach others how they can implement this system in their business. Part of the system is figuring out how to get this message in front of as many people as possible. Part of this message is creating the challenge itself. And part of this message is, making the offer, right? So technically I can make the offers, I can put together the funnels and everything, or I can figure out where to advertise and market this in any order. Maybe you should start at the top and work down, like the offers, and then the funnels and everything, and then the audience. But you don't have to, because the thing is, we have like a blueprint for how to approach other people who have big audiences, who might want to be compensated for you to use their audience. And what would that look like? It could look like podcast hosts. It could look like YouTube megastars. They monetize their YouTube. And of course, they would be interested in other opportunities for monetization, but they themselves might not have any offers. So wouldn't it be like super ninja sauce if you could borrow their audience and pay them as a result? Like, I just love it so much. What else, you guys? What else? I'm going to hang around for a couple more minutes and then 5-6 more minutes. I really don't know where this typo came in. I'm looking at this email. I really don't know. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to my list and see. All right. 23 people now in VIP. But that's not accurate. We already talked about that. And more accurately, we've got 31 people signed up. Yay. If you're watching this, you should grab a seat. We are at milliondollarofferchallenge.com for a 4-day challenge next week. Is it like super okay with you real quick if I give you a bonus training announcement? I guess I haven't announced it yet to them. I need to course correct the emails and then make the announcement. But Saturday, let's do a training on Saturday. I'm just going to the date in my calendar. May 11th. Let's do a bonus training at 10 a.m. Pacific. So noon Central, 1 Eastern. Let me see if that works. Let me check my child's T-ball schedule. Oh yeah, T-ball's at 10:30, so that's perfect. Okay, so a 10 a.m. Pacific training will go live for an hour or so on Saturday for anybody who is registered for $1 Million Offer Challenge. So we'll do a bonus pre-training on Saturday, May 11th at 12 p.m. Central. So that'll be super awesome. Okay. What questions or comments? I'm streaming this to a lot of places. Let's see. Oh yeah. Facebook. Oh, not to LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah. YouTube, and Facebook. So what's up, everybody? I hope this is helpful. Like, again, the whole point is like, how do I take the learnings and lessons along the way and save you time, save you money, and just like truly transparently share with you, right? Because man, like I'm constantly looking for people who, I guess a few things, who are one step ahead of me. Like if you can find somebody who's just one step ahead of you, you can actually follow in their lead because they've spent a ton of money and a ton of time to get there. And maybe you don't have to spend all that time or money to get to the same place. And this is super ninja. You can model what you want to do. You can watch how they're doing it to model. One thing I love to do when I go to live events now is I love to see how the live events are coordinated. Not like behind the scenes because I'm not part of their team, but the experience at the event itself. Like I'm like, how many people do they have running around doing errands for them? Who's doing the setup? What kind of snacks do they have? Is there a videographer? Is there a photographer? What does that look like? Because I find that like, we can end here. I find that for me, I have like a certain expectation that if I were to put an event on, or when I put my first event on, I want it to look a certain way. But that expectation is just based on some filter in my head, because the reality is I go to these other events that look the same as the way my event would look, not like a conference, right? Like a workshop, like an implementation workshop. And they all look the same, which is different than the expectation in my head. And we paid a lot of money to be there. So why wouldn't I mirror my future implementation workshop to look more like theirs independently, two different groups, versus what in my head it should look like. I'm going to tell you something. Modeling theirs is going to save me a ton of money than doing the one that I want to do. And that's all respect. Like, we're getting immense value out of all of these conferences. One group of my mentors, I've been to like 4 or 5 of their events. I'm about to go to the 5th event actually in June. And this other mentor, I just went to their first event, but ironically, they all look the same, depending on the venue, depending on this, depending on the snacks, depending on the video. Like, they're all core elements. The snacks are all similar. The food's all similar. The schedule is all similar. What they do or don't do during, before, and after the event is all similar. So when you partner, when you invest in mentors and coaches and experts who are 1 or 10 steps ahead of you, and you have close proximity to the main person, then you really have an intimate opportunity to not just learn directly from them, but to really like know that to have your own implementation workshop, it's okay and it's preferred. It's probably for good reason why they are the way they are. And so now I'm like, cool, I know where I can do it. I know what Costco run I need to make ahead of time. I know what on the ground resources I should try to have at my events. And yeah, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. So thank you so much for being here. I will be doing this with guests as often as I can, but if not, I'll just keep showing up and trying to add value for you alone. All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you